Welcome, Guardians, to the 52nd episode of the DTR podcast. I am your host, Jay, content manager here at DTR. And joining me this week are my wonderful co-hosts. First up, we have Dan Finity.
Hey, guys.
What's up? Alright, I'm sorry. What was funny, guys? I just look at... Is it because...
Danny, you want to take that one?
I just was warning our guest that, hey, don't shit yourself when Jay comes in, because he's gonna come in loud and fast, and that's exactly what you did, and it was perfect.
Thank you. All right. Next up, we have J Rebel 9119. What's up, man?
What's going on, everybody?
What's up? Our guest this week is Power GPU. Welcome to the show, Power. Thank you so much for joining us this week.
Thank you for having me.
Nice, sweet. Alright guys, so we have a ton of things to talk about this week, but as always I do have a few announcements to make. So you guys can find us on iTunes, Podbean, and the Google Play Store at Destiny Tracker Podcast. We do record the show every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern live on twitch.tv/Destiny Track. If you guys would like to support the show, you guys can subscribe on iTunes and make sure to leave a review and then follow us on Podbean. You guys could use our promo code DTR for 10% off your Gamer Subs GG order. Alright guys, so let's dive straight into it. Power GPU, I am going to throw it straight over to you, man. Do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself? What do you do here in the community?
Yeah, so from the name alone, Power GPU, if some of you already know about Tech Talk GPU's graphics processing unit. So usually when I go into a chat, they usually say, hey, you know stuff about computers? Yeah, I do. So pretty much what I do here in the community is I try to help out as many people as I can, as far as mainly streamers, just gamers overall as well. I'm constantly trying to get people out there to pretty much be able to, play Destiny 2 on PC or any other game in general. But mainly since I started in the Destiny community, that's where I'm going to stay. I love the community as well. So biggest thing right now is I'm trying to, with the whole Destiny 2, with people getting some issues here and there, trying to stream with different stuff. I'm just answering as many questions as I can, and I benchmark stuff as well. So that's where the experience came from pretty much from YouTube, from benchmarking hardware for over the years.
Sweet. So what really made you get into building PCs and helping people out?
It all started, my first PC I built was back in 99, which kind of shows somewhat of my age, but I really got into it and I just fell in love with the hardware and seeing what I can do. So what I started doing is I started putting the computers together and I started overclocking them, pushing the CPU, pushing the GPU, overclocking memory. And I got so into it that back in 2006, early 2006, late 2005, I spent $6,000 on one rig, and I spent another $6,000 on a second rig for my brother-in-law, and those two rigs got featured on Video's front page for SLI Rig of the Month. From there on, I just started pushing hard on it, and a buddy of mine started a Facebook page called Fierce PC Gaming. That blew up as well on Facebook, but it kind of slowed down as well. And then my wife was like, hey, if you're overclocking and, testing all this hardware out, and you might as well start making videos. So I started on YouTube. And at that time it was, not as populated. It was like 2008, 2009. Mm-hmm. But then, of course, YouTube got saturated, which now it's tough.
Yeah. All right. J-Ram, you're up first, man, for your questions. J-Ram, I think you're muted.
Muted.
You were correct. I don't know how that happened. Oh, no, I know what I coughed, and I didn't want to, interrupt our guest's speech. So, you ready? Easy question. If somebody from the community was interested in PC gaming and their main focus was to play Destiny 2, could you give us a base model, just a couple components to get somebody started that doesn't break the bank?
Yeah. Is there a certain budget? Exact budget? I usually go based off exact budgets, and I can kind of just go from there.
All right, let's say let's go $600. We'll go low. Okay. See if you can do it.
Are they trying to stream or just game?
Just game.
All right, so just gaming at this point, I would recommend a Ryzen 3. The processor, as far as benchmark results, have been great for gaming. I'd recommend at least 8 gigs of RAM, either Corsair, either G-Skill brand. Really doesn't make a big difference. I would recommend a 128 gig solid state drive, maybe a 500 gig mechanical drive. D2 right now, as far as all the benchmarks I've done with GPUs, a GTX 1050, believe it or not, a non-TI or a TI, runs the game really good around medium settings, and it'll push those 60 FPS, even at max settings at 60 FPS while doing strikes or raids or even PvP. And then as far as case, I mean, you can go with the Fantech Etho Pro, the mid tower, which is about $69. And then as far as the power supply, you can do a Corsair. You could do like a 650 watt RX RM650. You could do the non-modular one, which will save you a little bit of money as well. And then no DVD drive, of course, you don't need that. And then a lot of things that people don't realize and don't know about is Windows 10. There's actually two versions, which you guys can tell me if you guys know about this. There's a free version and a paid version. So if you're on a budget of $600, that $100 is going to save you a lot of money. So you download the free version, install it. All it's going to do is going to give you a watermark on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and it's going to say activate Windows. That's it. So you save $100 right there alone. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's very simple build, but it'll run Destiny fine. Streaming-wise, no. You'll run into a lot of issues, but definitely for gaming.
So would you say it's safe to assume then, given the $600 budget, the majority of the money would go into the video card or the CPU?
Actually, at that point, if it's a $600 budget, I would kind of balance it out at that point.
Now, if we would increase the budget to, say, $1,000, name one component that you would change and why.
For sure, I would do GPU. And the reason for that is, so I mean, the GPU obviously is going to be your biggest thing for gaming. Now, if the budget was $1,000 and you're just changing the video card itself, you don't want to go too high either. Because if someone's at a $600 budget, most likely they're just running at 1920 by 1080. And when you're running at that resolution, it's more CPU taxing than it is GPU. It's kind of in between. So I'd probably go with like a GTX like 1070 or 1060. At 1070 is kind of pushing it. 1060 it'd be more of a better route to go with. But if they're higher resolution, they can go with the higher GPU and it'd be less taxing on the CPU as well.
All right, awesome. And I got one more question, but this one's related to Destiny. You ready?
Okay.
All right. If you could explore one enemy faction, like if you could like kind of, like wear the cloak from Harry Potter where it makes you go invisible, and you can go behind the scenes and learn about all the different factions and how they're set up and what they represent and how their power structure is, what enemy faction would it be?
Enemy faction? I mean, I'd probably go with the Vex.
Me too. You just earned a big seat at the table at my house.
I love the Vex. I mean, yeah. I mean, Cabal's cool, but Vex. Yeah.
Why the Vex?
Yeah, why the Vex?
They're more of my style. They're more robotic, and I'm more into those electronics. And I would want to understand how they work, and I mean, especially Vault of Glass. I mean, come on, it's like one of the best raids out there as well. So I mean, it's like I'm just very interested in what how they are for sure.
Yeah, when I think of the Vex, I think of like surgical killers.
Oh yeah,
like exactly. They're precise, and everything they do has a purpose.
I mean, look at those snipes.
oh my God, there's hobgoblins, man. Most OP gun in the game, and we can't get it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
All right, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Sweet. Dan.
Okay, I just have two questions for you.
All right.
How many characters are running for Destiny 2? And why are they all hunters?
Wait, say it again. How many characters are running?
How many characters are you running in Destiny 2, and why are they all hunters?
No, they're not all hunters. I'll tell you this. Xbox, 1 Titan. PS4, all 3, Warlock, Titan, Hunter, and then PC right now is Titan.
Cool. Excellent, man. Yeah. That's
Sorry,
all I got.
Hunter on PC yet.
I mean, you have a seat at J Ram's table. I'll consider it at mine, but
I mean, I'm not the type of person, to be honest with you. You could ask anybody. Like, I'm in Destiny 1. I played all 3 subclasses, and I liked all of them. And I never made 3 of one or anything like that because I liked switching it up every so often, especially in trials. I'll do Warlock this week or Hunter next week or Titan next week. But as of right now, I'm enjoying the Titan the most on D2. As of right now.
Cool, man.
Which subclass on the Titan?
Definitely a striker.
Absolutely, you get these 2 pulse nades.
That's 100% correct.
So, Power, are you more of a PvE guy or a PvP guy?
PvP.
Nice.
For
Have
sure.
you completed the Leviathan raid?
Yes, we did it on Xbox twice, PS4 20 times, and then PC so far 3 times.
Nice.
Nice.
are you enjoying that raid a lot more than the past raids? Previous raids?
I'm enjoying it. I wouldn't say. I mean, as far as preferring, I would still prefer like Taken King or or VOG. But as far as the mechanics, I like it just because it makes it a little bit simpler as far as like, helping out viewers and stuff like that, when streaming. So in that purpose, yeah, I kind of preferred at that point. But no, I still definitely enjoy the older raids for sure in D1.
Sweet. So how is it playing the raid on PC? Because I haven't dived into the raid on PC yet. So how does it compare to the other platforms?
It's a massive difference, man.
Really?
And let me just to give you an idea. I mean, to me, it seems it's a lot easier on PC, especially that me coming from keyboard and mouse. That's what I've done majority of my life. I did do console back in Halo. Of course, everyone played Halo. And then with I came back with Destiny when it came out for the first time when I heard about it. And I would say just because it's keyboard and mouse, to me, it seems easier. I mean, the accuracy's there. There's a lot less. So far from my experience too on the PC, there hasn't been any issues except for the whole issue of there's an issue where Callus, you're DPSing him and you're still fine, but it just restarts the whole raid. That happened on PC last night. But yeah, it was kind of weird. Wow. But on Xbox, we've had that issue where it spawns you in and you're in spectating mode, and that happens almost every time when I play, which got kind of frustrating. And then yeah, so PC wise, yeah, it's been great. It's been smooth, it's been buttery, except for this last patch they messed up, but it's been good.
I'm sure we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Oh yeah. All right, so let's dive into the show, guys. So the first question I have for all of you is, what is the most fun you guys had in D1 or D2 this week? I will go first to show you guys. I finally completed a Prestige Nightfall earlier this week, and it was intense. It felt rewarding after completing it, not in terms of the loot, but getting that achievement and now having 100% achievement. So that's the most fun I've had this week. Power, you're up next.
The most fun for me would be on, I think it was Monday. Yeah, Monday. We did pretty much a PvP grind fest. It was me, Wish, iFrost, and Pure Chill, and we just literally just PvP'd for like 6 hours straight. Just nonstop.
In quick play or competitive?
Oh, no, it was quick play. We were just having fun.
All right, nice. All right, J-Ram.
Doing the raid on PC for the first time. Not the first time I've ever done the raid, because I've done it a bunch of times on PlayStation, but just, I knew what to expect going into the raid. I didn't realize how much the field of view makes a difference within that raid.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely get a sense just how big the Leviathan really is. It's a little easy now that you have, you can see more, you can actually see the enemies coming at you. So you can kind of pick, okay, I'm going to engage these enemies first because they're closer to the left, and then I'll get these ones on the right. So it kind of changes up the way that you play. I noticed that it was a little bit more methodical, so I could slow down. I wasn't constantly like moving left to right real fast or anything like that. And just and Power, maybe you can agree with me on this, because I noticed something that was entirely different when you compare the console to the PC experience, and that was running in the gauntlet part. When you actually, when you pick up the ball and then you're on the racetrack on PlayStation or Xbox, it looks okay. I mean, you got like, you could see like the haze and a little, explosions from little fireworks and everything. But on PC, you actually look like you were like drunk.
Yeah.
Like, it was so much more intense, and it actually made that encounter so much more difficult.
One more thing about that.
Yeah.
Did you notice that when you jumped in there, the FPS did not drop?
Yeah.
On the Xbox, every time you get teleported in there, the FPS just plummets.
I didn't do it on Xbox. I did it on PlayStation. I have a PS4 Pro. But even like on a Pro, if I was in the baths and I would throw a pulse nade down when the bathers would come out, pulse nade and then a rocket, and the frames would just dip. I mean, it would stutter until all that kind of did its thing. On PC, none of that happens.
Yeah.
But it was real. I mean, after doing that gauntlet part, I it's not like I was nauseous, but I was like, oh my God, that was so weird. Like, I put the controller down. I was like, did I just see something different? Because it was just different. And then when you face Callus, it's so much, I didn't get to see the throne, or I didn't get to see the nightmare room yet, the skull room. I've only seen it with people streaming on PC, and it looks amazing. I was stuck inside the throne room. But when you aim at Callus, because that field of view is longer now, and you got more screen real estate, it's easier to kind of hit your shots.
Yeah.
So you can keep that cold heart right on his critical spot, and it's not that hard. And I'm using a controller. I would imagine mouse and keyboard would be even easier.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So it was the same content, but it was refreshed for me. So that was very exciting.
Nice. Dan.
Honestly, our clan's been growing a little bit by little bit each week. So we've gotten to welcome a lot of new members to the raid. We on last Friday, it was my first one phase of Callus.
Nice.
And we did it purely by accident. Purely by accident. It was Mr. Late July set it up with myself, Pubin, Jaden, and Evil Aura and Angry Iceberg, and we had a pretty good time going through everything else. It was a little sloppy here and there, but it was like really fun. And we got to Callus. I think we had like 98 stacks or something like that, and just went around on the last thing. He nuked us, and 3 people went down. I was able to res 1 person. And that was enough DPS to get him just over that little hair into his shield phase. So nice. that was great. And then we did it real easy with current meta on Tuesday with the 111 stacks. So that was like, I think, 1 wipe, and then 1 run after that, we had it 1 phased. It was really cool.
Nice.
Awesome. You're Captain Clutch, dude.
Heck yeah, man! It's been pretty cool. If I can continue this, I might start a counter. But yeah, man.
Did you guys complete the challenge mode yet? Baths? Power JRAM, Dan?
No, we didn't do it. Nope.
Okay. Why?
Nope. Yeah.
Or it's just not. There's no incentive.
We just it was late. We were like, let's just get through this. We'll come back and do challenge. The challenge is extremely simple to do. In fact,
do you mind explaining it?
No, not at all. Basically, what you got to do is you got to make sure you have 1 guardian that is always in the water in the middle of the baths area. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's where the plate you get the what's that thing called, the psionic protection. Yeah, it's the sun plate. As long as you keep somebody in the water at all times, that's the challenge. So the idea behind it is if you keep 1 person in the water at all times, then the people on the right and left basically just go back and forth like they normally would. The only difference is at the very beginning, have somebody grab the psionic charge, run over to a plate, and then everybody at the same time jump down onto their plates, whether it's cup, axe, the swords, or dogs. So, and then once all 4 of you or all 5 of you jump down together, the one wherever he is, the other guy just runs into the middle, grabs a psionic protection, and then you just keep going back and forth like that. So it's extremely simple to do. It makes the encounter even easier. The only thing that sucks is you just got to make sure that you're taking down your bath or those bath people as fast as you can, the bathers. Because that's the only how do I want to say this here, pain point, I guess. That's the only time that encounter gets difficult. Yeah, so just keep somebody in the water at all time. You're good.
All right.
That's it. It almost seems like it's like an Oryx. Like, you remember the Oryx challenge when it came out and everybody figured it out, and you're like, holy shit, it's actually easier to do the challenge.
Yeah.
What we've been doing.
Yes.
It's the same thing again.
I remember that.
So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they need to make challenges a little bit more challenging.
All right. Power, have you completed the challenge mode this week?
Nope, it was actually the same exact thing he just said. Literally, we're doing the raids last night and helping 2 buddies, and we're like, it's getting late. Let's just continue. I gotta have to run another raid afterwards with some other buddies that needed help, so we just kind of just went right through it. And it wasn't because of the reward system. It's just just time. That's all it was.
Dan?
No, we attempted it. We were just trying to figure it out without like seeing it firsthand, and it looked easy enough. It's just we didn't come up with the correct answer to the puzzle as quickly as everybody else did. So, yeah, just haven't completed it yet. Soon, but not now.
All right. Good luck to all you guys when you guys go in and complete it with your teams. And let's move on to Prestige Raid. I have not gone into Prestige Raid yet. I just haven't had a team yet to dive into. I've been super busy. Have you guys gone into it, Dan?
No, not yet.
All right. Power. Nah.
I feel very sad to say this, but when Prestige Raid came out, before it came out, the static group that we had for the clan, we were extremely excited for it. We had a date and everything. The minute they announced the loot for it and we saw what it was, literally like all 5 of them said, "No, we're good." We haven't done it yet.
Yeah. J-Ram.
So we might do it on PC.
Yeah. J-Ram?
Yes, we've done it.
Nice.
We did everything except Callus. That skull room needs fixed. It needs fixed bad, and we died because of glitches. Like this one time, we got I got sucked in. We were on the 3rd phase, going all the way. I'm sliding all the way down. I hit my player in front of me, and both of us like just perpendicular. Boom! We just go out to the sides, and we get pushed off. And it's just like after doing it 10, 15 times and dying because of glitches or because we're not bad players. It was glitches. Sometimes it was our fault. We did something stupid, didn't, call out, cup or something like that. I can work with that. What I can't work with though is the game beating you, So to piggyback off of what Power just said, that and the fact that the loot is just not worth it. We were like, you know what? We're done. Let's just finish it out normal way and we'll just quit it. So that's what we did. Now, I did hear on PC, it seems like that part of the raid is much more in tuned. So I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't in the skull room when we did it. So Jay, I will let you know after tonight because I'm raiding right after the podcast.
Nice. Have fun. On PS4?
No, PS4? What are you talking about?
What is this PS4
Before you speak of? Yeah.
He said he has a 1070. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I got a PS4 paperweight. Is that the same thing?
No.
Oh, that's salty right there. Ooh.
Generations to come, they'll find this like slanted black box. And
I didn't say it, so.
What is this, grandfather? Before the hologram wars of 2075.
So I really want to continue talking about the PC version of D2. It's great on PC, and we all know it's not easy to make a game this, I don't want to say perfect, but I guess the correct word is to use optimized on PC. Is the correct word to use for that? So Power, do you mind helping me understand like what went into this, or like why, like how does D2 compare to other PC games? Not in terms of gameplay, like things to do, but like just the way it plays on PC.
Okay. So this game 100% plays different from a lot of PC games, and I'm gonna say to which if any of you are into PC, everyone knows this game, Crysis. Everyone knows Crysis. That was a game that came out that literally no computer could run when it first came out back in, was it 05 or 06, somewhere on there. And that game was beautiful. It couldn't really say optimized. It was just such a beautiful game that it really took a lot to run. Now, the reason why I'm comparing it to Crysis is because on Destiny 2, what I've noticed when I'm benchmarking it, when I've been testing it on, on the gaming laptop I have, on the stream box, on my wife's PC, on, friends' PCs and stuff like that, and me going around asking people what specs they had and what their experience is, what I have noticed is that, which I think what's the company's name is called Vicarious Studios or something like that. It's the one that did the Vicarious Visions. Yeah, that's what it was. When they were doing the optimization for it, I've noticed that they optimized this game around the lower end cards, not for the top tier cards. And the reason why I say that is I have noticed a lot of people with, let's say, GTX 1080 Ti's. Their performance doesn't, if you actually have a 1080 Ti and you switch the settings from the highest settings all the way down to the lowest, which I was doing this yesterday. I have a 1070 as well. I went from the highest settings to the lowest, and literally my FPS only changed by about 5, which is not much. I mean, that's nothing. On a game like Crisis, when you went from low settings, let's say you had at that time it was a GTX, it was an 8800 GTX. You were averaging, let's say, you know, on those settings, around, let's say, 45 FPS. The minute you switch it to high, you would drop to like 10. Like literally, you would just drop down. And that's just the way the game was, you know. With Destiny 2, the optimization, they just concentrated so much that they wanted everyone to play, no matter what system you had, how old the system was, how expensive your GPU was. So the optimization is great, but not really good for your enthusiast level people. And that's where it comes down to. Like, if you have 1080 Ti's and SLI, you're not really going to benefit from that at all on Destiny 2. Unless you're running 4K, or if you're running, you know, NVIDIA Surround, or if you're running an ultra-wide monitor, 4K, you might benefit from it, but it's not going to be much. So the game's good, but the people that spent the $700 on a 1080 Ti are not really benefiting from it, unfortunately.
So I guess that's good then, right? That they made the game for all players to play, not just top tier PCs.
It is. It really is. It just, in the PC world, which you'll learn and realize, is that a lot of people, when they spend that much money on a video card or multiple video cards, they expect that performance in every game, and they want. Those are a lot of people that spend that much money too are looking to, you know, that have 144 refresh rate monitors, G-Sync, and all that stuff. They want to run a consistent 144 plus FPS. So if they don't get that, they get upset. So yes, it is better though, because the overall player base is happier to go that route. So I would say in the route that what they did, I agree, and I'm glad they did it that way. So that way, even my friends that have older PCs could still run it, and they enjoy it, and they could play with me. So, and PCs do get expensive, so that's one of the reasons why they did that for sure.
J-Ram, I do want to throw it over to you. Like, because you upgraded your graphics card, right?
Yeah, when I played the beta, I had a GTX 950. And I was running it on low to medium settings, solid 60 frames per second, 1080p. And then every week I'd go up to Best Buy and see if they had one of those GTX 1070s or 1080s. And they were always sold out because you Bitcoin assholes. That's a different topic altogether. So I would go on Amazon and I would see the GTX 1070s at like double the price because of the Bitcoin people. Again, maybe I'm a little jealous of that because I think like one share of Bitcoin now is like $5,000 or $6,000. It's like skyrocketed.
It's at
$7,000 now.
Yeah.
Like last year it was 7 cents. Shit.
I have a funny story about Bitcoin.
Should have jumped on that bandwagon. But anyways. Then I went up one day and you know, the guy, the one worker he had a box out and he was pulling a GTX 1070 out. He put it on the shelf. As soon as he put it on the shelf, I took it off the shelf right behind him. I was like, "Thank you very much," and you know, I got my card. The only thing I didn't notice this massive improvement in frames per second because my monitor that I use, I specifically bought it for console gaming, so it's only 60 hertz refresh rate. So, and what that means is 60 frames per second. That's what my monitor can handle. Anything more than that is, you know, it's just ridiculous because I will never see that.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice a massive jump in frames per second because I still had the same. What I did notice though is just like the texture quality and everything is just unbelievably better. I'm running everything on the highest setting. I can see like leaves blowing across, you know, the pathway on Nessus, what looks like 500 or 600 meters away, where before I wouldn't even see anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, so the experience, you know, it's the same game with the same fun things to do and same disadvantages. It's just a much more immersive experience. So now that even though like the strikes, they don't give you the rewards that you kind of want, they're still fun to play because every time you go into a strike, and I think making this blanket statement, everybody can agree, the strikes in D2 are much more, they're much more immersive, they're bigger, and you actually feel that now. So it just makes it fun to play, even if you're just playing with your friends and you guys are just, you know, talking smack or, you know, hey, how was your day? You know, how's the kids or whatever, and you're just playing the game with your friends. It gives it that sense of like purpose again, you know. So with this first expansion, not to jump forward, but with this first expansion, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do. Because now it's like, okay, well, if they're fixing the things that we want fixed, how much better is this game going to get on PC? I don't know. It's going to be amazing, at least in my perspective. But they really gotta, you know, dot some I's and cross some T's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I will say that the game does feel larger on PC, like the worlds feel much larger on PC, right? Because like your field of view and all of that. Like I love using an elemental gun and killing Vex or something, but like a Minotaur and their shields are void, and seeing that explosion off of them is just great. Like yeah.
No, dude, yeah, you definitely could see the explosions on an Xbox and PlayStation. So it's not like, you know, that they did it. It's just it's so much more noticeable now.
It's crisp. It's crisp. It's good. It's good. All right. All right, Dan, I'm going to throw it over to you, man. Do you mind reading our ad read and telling me a little bit more about Gamer Subs?
Well, I will when this refreshes, and it just did. Ladies and gentlemen of the Destiny Tracker community, we are glad to have your support in the support of our sponsors. Are you lagging behind the sticks and in the crucible? Never fear, our friends at Gamer Subs have the drinks you need to keep you competitive. They've restocked their flavors of fan favorites, Dragon Fruit Punch, OP Orange, and I hear they have a strawberry shortcake on the way. Use our code DTR to get 10% off these delicious drinks. Guess where you can shake those drinks from? Your own home. Thank you, Guardians. As always, eyes up.
Nice. Alright, guys, so let's dive into the TWAB. Let's talk about Curse of Osiris. Bungie finally revealed the first expansion, Curse of Osiris, this week. They did drop a trailer on us, and man, was that trailer good. I was just so excited to see what Osiris finally looks like. Like, I enjoyed the trailer from a lore perspective, because we've been hearing the name Osiris for years now, and we heard his voice in the Shrine of Oryx mission, and just finally being able to see him, like, I was literally jumping in my seat on the subway.
Yeah, but they changed the lore on us.
Yeah, he is a Dawnblade.
Yeah, he's a Dawnblade, but he was referred to in D1 as a Sunsinger.
Yeah,
and I'm like, come on.
There's no Sunsingers anymore.
Yeah.
Well, in the subclass mission for Warlocks, I don't know which subclass it was. It does mention Sunsingers. I did pay attention to that. It did. I don't know if you guys saw that when you woke up to the little whatever. Yeah. So I did. Yeah, I did ask someone, why is he a Dawnblade, and a theory is when the Traveler burst its light across the galaxy, maybe it's because it turned all Warlocks, like it changed from Sunsinger to Dawnblade or something like that. I'm not a lore expert.
Wait a minute. When the Traveler exploded at the end of D2, right?
Yes.
You already had the Dawnblade before that.
But we had it, not everyone else. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your player. Yeah.
Your player had it, not all the other NPCs and stuff like that. Yeah.
All right. So, hey, whatever works. It's a lazy piece of writing, in my opinion, but okay.
I was surprised to see him as a Dawnblade, because a question I did bring up weeks ago was, is he gonna be a Sunsinger in D2? Like that's gonna be pretty weird, right? But nah, he's a Dawnblade, guys. So yeah, so after watching that trailer, what is your first impression of Curse of Osiris? Just watching the trailer. J-Ram, I'm just gonna throw it over to you.
Okay. Elephant in the room, cautiously optimistic, I guess. You know, I mean, hey, any game can make any trailer look amazing.
Yeah.
You know, are they going to deliver or not? That's I'm done doing the speculation game. I'm done hoping for things that I know is not going to come through. So I'm just going to wait and see. In other words, my expectations are extremely low. And because of that, maybe I won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I hate, you know, being the salty, guy again, but you know what? I don't really care. I'll do that. I'll be that guy. Because, we always come on these shows and I hear other podcasts and other people talk about, if they do this and this and this, but they never do this or that or anything. So, I don't know. How many missions are you guys expecting? How many strikes are you expecting? Are you expecting them to fix all the problems as far as, strike specific gear or something like that. Like, I have no idea. What I do know is D2, when they were showing the cutscenes and getting us hyped, it looked amazing. Now there is so much controversy around this game. People either love it or they hate it. There's really no in between. Or maybe there is the in between. It's just, you know, my exposure to other people on the interweb is not as vast as somebody like Say No to Rage or Gigs or Gathalion, you know. So my subset of the population is much smaller than their subset. But anyways, listen. I want this game to be amazing. There are hundreds of employees at Bungie, developers, people that are making the game that are just unbelievable what they do. What I cannot grasp is the leadership. You know, why do they make these decisions? You know, and that has nothing to do with the game developers. They get paid to develop the game. The management, they're the ones that say, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I just don't understand half the things. Like, case in point, man. Case in freaking point. Raid gear has no intrinsic raid properties. What the hell? Like, I mean, did they forget to say, hey, raid people, make sure you put some intrinsic properties on it? Or did they say, don't do that because the system that we want you guys to develop gives everybody the raid gear even if they don't complete the raid. Therefore, you can't make anything special anymore because we don't want anybody to feel left out. Did you guys ever know? I mean, that's one of the things that I've noticed. I don't know if it's true or not, but look at all of the gear we have. There is nothing special about any of them. Even the exotics. There are very few exotics where that one special perk is actually something super special. Celestial Nighthawk. That is a special perk. It penalizes you by taking away all your golden gun shots, but that one golden gun shot you get is badass. You know? There are very few exotics like that. It's almost as if they've completely boiled this game down to just a basic framework. And I think it's because there was a lot of controversy in D1 where people were like, oh, I never went to the lighthouse. Boo-hoo me. You know, and they were like, you know what? We don't want to hear that anymore. We want this game to be as fun and as fair as possible. I think the problem is by them watering it down or boiling it down so much, they've actually extracted some of the fun out of the game. You know, and you know, I guess for a lot of people, that opinion is going to change. Maybe that opinion is for someone who does PvP a lot, and they're like, dude, there's no reason to play PvP. It's not that fun anymore, you know. Or maybe it's the people on the PvE side that say something along the lines of, "Where's our Gallahorn moment? Where's that moment where you know you got that one drop or something crazy happened and you know you looked like a god for a second?" There's none of that anymore. I don't know. And like I said previously, they got a lot of I's to dot and a lot of T's to cross. You know, do I have faith that they can do it? Yes. Will they do it is the question.
Yep.
Will they do it is the question.
Wow. Nice, J-Ram. Nice speech.
I quit. I'm done off the podcast. Consider this my retirement from comedy.
I don't.
You were funny.
No.
No.
No, but who said that? Michael Scott said that. You know, when he couldn't use "That's What She Said" line anymore or something like that. He goes, "Consider this my retirement from comedy," and I thought it was such a funny line.
Yeah, I love that show.
Same here.
Yeah, and then Jim's like, "Well, you always left me satisfied."
Yep.
You really think you can go all night?
So
That's what she said. What a great show. All right, I'm sorry.
you're fine. So just going back to what J Ram said, I think some of these quality of life changes that they pointed out in last week's TWAP must come out in this. I think this expansion will make or break this game. I think like they have to bring some of these quality of life changes that they talked about in last week's TWAP into the game with this first expansion with Season 2. We do know with Season 2 they are going to bring changes to Iron Banner and the factions. You're going to be able to purchase things using your tokens and your legendary marks. In Season 2 in this first expansion, I would like to see, I believe in last week's TWAP, Christopher Barrett said strike specific loot or something like that. More an incentive to do prestigious activities, I think that has to come in the first expansion. And not to go jump too far ahead, but I think these 3 live streams that they are going to do in November would really determine, I hate to say the F word, but fate of this game. I got y'all there. I got y'all there.
I thought you were going to say the F word, dude.
I did.
Frankenpaint.
I thought you were going to say frequently.
Well, Jay, let me ask you this question.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, because we don't know what's coming yet, let's say they don't deliver on everything. What are the things that you think have to be in this next update?
An incentive to do prestigious activities for us hardcore players.
Is that it?
A ranking system for the PvP community.
Which
I don't see that coming right away, though.
The things you're listing, I don't necessarily know if they're, a 2-month fix. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, look how long it took them to put custom games in.
Well, I think
and
about
we
it
didn't even
this
have
way.
that at launch. Like, I think that's one of the things that people were really upset with. It's kind of like you guys created this standard of what the game should be, and then you completely went off track on that. It's like you came up with a completely different game plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I see it being a 2-month fix if they created a short amount of strikes in this first expansion. Because with Taken King, Luke Smith said that they started working on Taken King before the game even shipped, before D1 shipped. So I can see them, after they were finished with the first expansion in September or something, they sat down and said, okay, these are some of the issues that we have in the game. Let's think of solutions before D2 even shipped. Because, come on, they have to notice the issues that are in the game, right? Before it shipped, to try to fix it before, I don't know.
Yeah, tell that to the
Do you
PC
guys get what I'm trying
community
to
after Thursday.
What's Thursday?
Thursday was their hot fix.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody recognized that when you play the game, now you get this massive stutter every, minute or something like that.
Bugs pop out of nowhere sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. What? I see what you're trying to say, though. Yeah. Yeah, I think prestigious activities has an incentive to do prestigious activities have to come in the first expansion to keep us hardcore players engaged, like Iron Banner changes, Trials changes, faction rally changes, strike changes, lost sectors. I hope there are lost sectors on Mercury, an incentive to do adventures. Like, come on, there's 700 plus people in that building. So, yeah. I'm not a game developer, so I don't know all the details about everything. But for someone who wants to get into game development, I can see some of these changes not being an easy fix, but like something that they can do in a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Power, I'm gonna throw it over to you. What were your first impressions, or you can even talk about what Jay Ram and I were just talking about of Curse of Osiris.
Impression wise, and I'm gonna do the same thing as Jay. I mean, I'm not gonna put my hopes up as well. I'm gonna keep them, there. I'm glad it's coming out, the expansion. Which, to be honest with you, I think it's kind of sad that this shouldn't be an expansion this fast already. To be honest with you,
I'm glad you brought that up.
All right. What was that?
I know. I'm actually glad you brought that up because I just had that question in my head.
Yeah, I heard other people talking about that.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I say this is, I mean, Destiny 1, when was the first expansion for Destiny 1?
Around the same
December.
time.
It was around the same time.
Yeah, around the same time.
It was around the same
Yeah.
It was around the same time?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was December.
I think it was December
Really?
14th. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah. It was like the second week in December. We're getting this in the first week.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'm trying to remember. I mean, it was so long ago now. I'm trying to remember. What was the first expansion? Hold on. That was
Dark Below.
Dark
Below.
Below. Crota.
Mhm. It was right before Christmas.
And I know by that time, people still haven't finished VOG by that time. And I knew a lot of people that still didn't get the Gallahorn or Icebreaker. I think, honestly, with the new expansion, I think overall, just Destiny, I mean, since I'm going to say, I guess I'm going to speak for everyone here. I think everyone here in the podcast is a hardcore Destiny player, correct?
Yes.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, we all grind the living daylights out of this game. So we're not the casuals of the game.
True.
And me grinding Destiny on Xbox, PS4, and PC, I thought it was going to be a lot harder, and it was pretty simple. So, and me not having a lot of time, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm a full-time streamer, but I stream 45 hours a week. And at the time I was doing YouTube as well. And, you know, I have kids and I'm a husband and I have a job as well. And I have all this stuff, but I still managed to grind on all 3 platforms and pretty much almost finish. So if this was Destiny 1, I would probably not even, I would still be grinding probably on 1 platform, to be honest. And that's what I kind of miss. So, I mean, honestly, I come from a world where grinding is, I love grinding. I come from Korean MMOs. Like if any of you heard Terra Online, like I would grind.
I've heard of it.
I would grind for 1 piece of gear for 6 months, literally. Like, and then when I got that gear, I would have to enchant it and masterwork it and even grind more just to increase that chest. And yes, that piece of gear did have an ability for raids or for PvP. And that's one thing I wish they did implement, like you were saying, is pieces of gear should have some sort of ability where it's PvP oriented or PvE oriented. And hopefully, I mean, they're probably not going to do that with the new expansion, but one thing I was looking forward to the expansion as well was that they did release another raid, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. All they said it was new content.
Yeah, that's a boy, that's a conversation to have, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's when I saw it.
Content.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, I don't think they're doing another raid, and that's where I got kind of disappointed at that point. But again, I don't want to put my hopes up. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to let it be. So when it comes out, it just surprises me. And what happens, hopefully, at that point. But yeah, I'm more of a PvP guy. So like you said, I want rank system. I want it to be like Destiny 1, where literally I just played trials for year 3, like nonstop. And that's all I did. You know what I mean? So, and of course, private matches. We did private matches. I mean, you could ask Chad. We played private matches nonstop for a good 6 months in year 3. So I would definitely love to have private matches back for sure.
So one question all right. So why are people so upset about the first expansion coming out so soon? Like we knew about it back in what, May, when they first said, "Oh, we're getting it," and the first expansion comes out in the winter of 2017. Technically, it's not winter; it's still fall. But I'm not even gonna go into that conversation.
Oh, there you go. Oh my God! Gotta get that summer solstice or winter solstice in there.
Yeah,
winter solstice semantics.
And then the next expansion comes out in spring of 2017. So, why are people so upset? I mean, we do know that they are trying to make content fast, and they're trying to push out content fast. So I'm actually happy hearing we have a roadmap. Well, we kind of have a roadmap so far. So again, I'm just curious to know, Power, why do you feel like some people are upset about that? Is it like too soon because they just released a new platform?
I mean, here's the thing. If we were still in Destiny 1, and like I want it to be to the point where I want them to release content to the point where I have not, like, this new expansion's coming out, and I'm pretty much already done with Destiny 2 as it stands right now. The only reason why I'm still playing is because now PC came out. So I think the reason why people are kind of upset, and at this point, because people are already mad about the game in general. So now pretty much anything that Bungie releases or says, it's just going to piss them off, regardless.
Yeah.
You've already pissed them off. They're going to get pissed off regardless of what you say. So it's really hard to change a customer's mindset. And I'll tell you this, I've been in retail for 15 years in sales. The minute you piss off that customer, they will never go back to you, ever, regardless of what you do. You could give them free product, everything. It's the same thing in the gaming world. The minute you piss them off, it's going to be very hard to keep them satisfied, 100%. So I think that's why they're ticked off. I mean, they're already mad. They're going to keep getting mad, and that's all. It's just going to keep going that route until, like, they literally like do a full 360 and they give the community what they want. I think till then, it's going to keep going that route, unfortunately.
Yeah. Dan, before I throw it over to you, I do want to say that I hope they increase the mod system in the next expansion. Like, I do hope that that's worth chasing. Evilor brought up a good point in chat. Dan, your first impressions on Curse of Osiris?
I thought the trailer looked badass. It brought I don't know, to finally get to see Osiris and to see his ghost was very interesting. Overall, like, I'm generally pretty excited about it, but then again, I'm always the guy that's generally pretty excited about anything like just new Destiny. I understand like the issues that a lot of people have with that not a lot of content is coming out with this one, but I don't know. I feel like with the first one, I looked it up here. With the Dark Below, it came out in December 2014, and House of Wolves came in May 2015. And with that schedule, the fact that they're saying that they're aiming at early 2018 for the PvP matches kind of coincides with the quality of life fixes that they made with House of Wolves. I don't know. I see the cycle repeating. It may be just a little bit like a little bit more droughtful, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see definitely some they're trying to make strides to appease everybody right now. And yeah, like GPU's right, like 100%. Like it's tough. I work at a library, and the amount of people who don't come into a library because of bad customer service is a lot. You'd be surprised. So I've in my time doing that, I've tried to make it easier on the patron from like an empathy and service side. And I can only imagine what they're doing on their end, trying to make sure that everybody is appeased and feels good about the product. So I don't know.
I would like to see them make their few story missions, and I really want them to expand adventures. Like I really want them to take advantage of that. They can, because cutscenes is I guess hard to make, like a lot of them. So I would like to see them just throw in some new adventures like that could keep us growing, and have there be an incentive to do them. Have them tell the story about future DLCs and all that, and then Curse of Osiris.
Has the conversation ever been had about like how many more missions we could have had if we didn't have as many cutscenes? Or is that a dumb conversation?
I don't know, Dan. No, I don't think it's a dumb. I don't think it's a dumb question or conversation. Case in point, I think Diablo 3. They didn't have any cutscenes. They had the cutscenes they had were like still images with somebody doing a voiceover or something like that. But that just goes to show you the difference between somebody who took care in telling a story as opposed to somebody just worried about cutscenes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, let's be honest. The story in D2 was a very safe story.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything crazy. It was, hey, the band broke up, we went on our little way, and then we realized the band is where they realized we're better as a unit than as separate. But that's it. There was no like Zavala questioning his light. Okay, let's dive down into that storyline. Let's see how far down the rabbit hole can get. Why do you feel this way, Zavala?
That could have been an adventure.
Could have been a whole thing, man, and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They didn't do it. And there's a YouTuber, what the hell's his name? Timbo. If you guys don't know Timbo, check him out. His videos are really thoughtful. They're thought out. They're really good. And he's actually really funny. So, if you like his sense of humor. But anyways, he made a really good point. He goes with, do you get excited when the pizza delivery guy brings a pizza to your house?
I kind of do.
Yeah, but that's
really
what you expect. You expect that. Like we kind of expected at least a baseline story in D2. Because D1 was nothing, but everyone was ranting about how great the story was. But I think what they were doing is they were comparing it to D1. When you look at storylines from other games, this storyline is it's very safe, which is okay if that's what they want to go for. But no, Dan, you bring up a really interesting point.
Yeah, would it have been more compelling if we had played it rather than just seen everything? Like if we had gone in and had been with Zavala and Ikora and Cade when they first infiltrated the city,
Yes.
rather than the aftermath
Yeah.
of it. Like there's so many ways to tell a story, and I feel like we could have, if I don't know.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, if the focus wasn't so much on the cinematics and more gameplay, what we could have had at this point in time, if we'd still be having the same issues, or if, well, I mean, we'd probably still be having the same issues. Like some people just blow through content.
Yeah.
Some people do. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it just seems like they took the path of least resistance.
Well, they definitely took the path of like, how many people can we get to buy this game?
Oh
exactly.
yeah,
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's more the casual player now. Yeah. 100%.
I get really scared when I see like a movie that I'm really interested in seeing, or a video game that I'm really interested in playing, and when they start bringing in like big time celebrities and these massive commercials, I sit there and go, maybe this game isn't as good as what they think it is. So they have to hype it up so much so they get those week one sales, because they know this isn't exactly as good as what they thought it could have been. You know, I mean, Destiny had Antonio Brown doing a dance. Who gives a shit? You know, what the hell does he have to do with the game? Nothing. It's just a dance.
I saw that, yeah.
And when they did their talk, what was the not the Paris thing, but the talk previous?
E3?
TwitchCon?
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. TwitchCon. The first thing they said was, you know, when we were talking about the Dawning, was the first thing they said, man, and it pissed me off, was, oh, you can play ice hockey. I don't give a shit about ice hockey in Destiny.
I was actually so hyped.
Take those people that were working on the hockey thing and put them on the raid intrinsic perk thing. It's not that hard to do.
Wait, I got a question. Have you played soccer at all in Destiny 2 yet?
No.
I haven't either.
I have.
It's fine.
I did in the beta, but I haven't touched it on the DTR.
No, and I get so upset when I see people on Twitter saying how, oh man, you're going to be able to throw snowballs. Who gives a shit? I didn't buy the game to play snowballs. I bought the game to shoot people in the face.
What about SRL, dude?
With snowballs.
Yeah.
Honestly, something like that shouldn't even be announced. Honestly, that should just be part of the game and not even announce it.
Power, you nailed it, man. I wish I could have said that. I completely agree with you.
From what we saw of that, like, what I'm sincerely hoping from, and I hope I'm not getting too far ahead of what we're planning on talking about, but the streams, I'm really hoping that the TwitchCon thing was their pitch, was their car sales pitch. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, take a look at all the things that you can buy in Destiny 2, and the next few things will actually be the substance of what we'll get, rather than just cosmetics. Honestly,
yeah.
But here's my question. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
The TwitchCon panel. Do you think that was the right time to do that type of panel to talk about that, or it was nice that they were talking about it, but was that the right time? And how there was a lot of quote unquote drama in the community and a lot of salt being thrown around. Like, do you think that was perfect timing?
I feel like everything that they're doing when it comes to communication is just, it's not a bad time to do it, and but like some of these things are less important. Like there's definitely a hierarchy of information that should be shared with the populace of the game, especially those who are loving it, or who love the game franchise as a whole. There's definitely a hierarchy of, okay, these are the things that people want to see, and then maybe we can slide this under the rug somewhere, like, and just like, and be like, and real quick, we have a bunch of stuff to sell through Activision, like.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Jay, do I think it was the right time for them to talk about something like that? Absolutely, and here's why. You do not want to bring up the current state or the current status of the game with the community, because then all the people on that panel are going to be asked, or all the people on the panel will be asked questions about that. So since they came out first and started talking about, you know, the ice hockey and the snowballs and everything, right from the start, they controlled the conversation.
Yeah.
You know? So from Bungie's perspective, yes, that is absolutely what you want to do. From our perspective, you guys are dicks.
Yeah.
And I
didn't even think about it in that way.
I mean that in the sincerest way possible.
Yeah, they have the upper hand in the conversation for sure.
Absolutely. Control it.
They always do. They always do. They do a really good job in their communications of saying of they tell us just enough. It's never too much. And it's like it's always verging on that like razor thin line of too little. So I don't know. They always control it that way.
They're not dumb.
No.
They know exactly what they're doing. Everything they do, say, create, put out on the internet has been well thought, and it's gone through maybe 5, 6, even maybe 15 people before it actually hits our eyeballs. They're not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, especially that they teamed with Activision. Marketing. Yeah, they know what they're doing.
They're no dummies. They're shrewd, but they're no dummies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's talk about these 3 November streams. We have one on November 15th that's going to talk about the campaign. We have one on Tuesday, November 21st that's going to talk about the new ways to play, and then we have stream 3 on November 29th, which is going to talk about the new gear to earn. And they're going to show it off on a brand new Crucible map. The stream I really want to talk about is the new ways to play. What could that mean? The description of it is watch us preview some of the activities that will challenge you and your fire team. What could that mean? Now we heard them throwing around new raid content. Could that be included in the stream maybe? Cause
I hope not. I want to be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
No, all right. But like I think they need to make it clear what that means, because I'm on the fence of, hey, it's a brand new raid. We are going to get a new raid. And then some people are like, no, we're not going to get a new raid. And then there's some people like, maybe they're just going to add gear. So what's your opinion on that?
Go ahead, Power, you go first.
Yeah, Power.
I mean, I was going to say, when has Bungie really made it clear for us?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times they throw out little hints here and there, but it's never like a direct thing where it's like, this is what you're getting exactly, you know, boom, 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 and that's it. You know, we thought so with Destiny 2 coming out, you know, before the beta and all that, I thought something different, what I was going to get, but it changed on me. Yeah. Because from what I saw, I thought the story was going to be longer, you know, but it didn't. So, I mean, yeah, it could mean a lot of things. I mean, for them, a different way of playing could be, instead of playing soccer, you're throwing snowballs at each other. You know, it could be simple things like that. So I mean,
that's new raid
who
content.
Knows? I mean, for the raid though, I mean, I don't know. I mean, hopefully they surprise me and there's a new raid, but
yeah,
hopefully it's not recycled gear. I don't want recycled gear. I want gear that, you know, someone when they see me, they're like, yo, that guy finished the prestige raid. He knew what he was doing, not just an aura over my head. I don't want that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but even still, and I love the way you said it. I want to get gear where people look at me and go, "Oh, that guy finished the raid. He knows what he's doing." But guess what? That moment is gone, because if I'm part of your clan and you did that, guess what I get?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's true. That's another conversation.
Yeah, and Power, I agree 100% with you, man. I remember the first time you went into a Nightfall, or first time I even booted up Destiny. I watched these guys with these flaming heads, and I saw these other people with this, you know, thing on their back that was like this massive computer-looking board with, you know, like hedge clippers on the front of it. I'm like, what is that? And it was the icebreaker. You know, and we don't have that anymore. It's completely gone.
Yeah, I mean, I will tell you this from, and I don't compare. I mean, I somewhat compare Destiny to an MMO because it has the structure, but it's not, you know, officially an MMO. But I remember I want gear that literally like, and I hate to say it because we're like I said, we're like the ones that play Destiny nonstop, and we're the ones that grind it like crazy. But I want that gear to be extremely, I mean, I'm talking extremely hard to get. That's what I want, to the point where it's very rare to see it. And like you were saying, the Gjallarhorn, like if you had a Gjallarhorn, people would flip. They'll flip on you. They're like, you got a Gjallarhorn, you suck. I hate you. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not going to your house. Like, I've been farming that crap for months or years. I haven't gotten it, or I never got it, or I want that. That's what I want. I want it to be to the point where it's so hard, which I know for some people it's gonna suck that they don't get it. But that's the whole point, and that's what makes it. That's what drives us to keep playing the game. Is to when we finally get it, that moment is it's just gonna. There's so many videos on YouTube of people just jumping out of their chair when they get it. Now it's like, oh, I got it.
Those videos are no longer on YouTube.
No,
you don't
that's
see
what I'm
them
saying.
anymore.
That's what I want.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that they Gjallarhorn they got rid of. They took it out of the game for a little bit, not because it was OP. It was because of bad raid design
choices.
Yeah, that's what it was. You've created something where you allowed a gun like that to be head and shoulders above everything else.
And that could have been miscommunication between the sandbox team and the raid design team. Yeah,
who knows, man.
But
bring back Smith.
I did bring up this question about new raid content because in the past we've heard them say brand new raid. Oh, Dan.
Oh no, sorry. I just unmuted my microphone.
You're fine. We heard them say brand new raid. We heard them say replayability for PoE. So this is brand new terminology from them. New raid content. So I'm curious to see what could that be. Yeah, and I hopefully soon. Like at least I don't. Should they even acknowledge it or just wait until the DLC launches?
I would probably wait.
Wait. Yeah, I hope this doesn't turn into... Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Power.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear anything about. Like, if it's a new raid, it's great. If it's not, I just don't want to hear it. I just release it and
let the community find out about it. Yeah,
I'll see what happens.
All right.
Yeah, I don't want this to turn into a House of Wolves thing again, where they showed everything.
Yeah, they showed.
And then when you got it, you were like, "What the shit? What are the surprises here?"
They showed so much.
Even Rise of Iron, right? Like they just showed everything about Rise of Iron.
Yeah.
No,
you know what? I don't remember.
No,
but you remember House of Wolves?
Yeah. Well, there's other reasons why I remember House of Wolves that are not appropriate to talk about on the podcast. I will gladly share them with you guys afterwards, but I'm not going to say it on air.
I didn't watch that.
Never kisses and tells.
Yeah. So yeah, they have the 3 streams coming up. And then we have another faction rally. Man, I almost forgot about this. We have another faction rally coming up. It starts November 7th. Correct me.
Starts next week.
Oh yeah, that's November 7th.
Jay, this is like the 8th time tonight you've made reference to like we're back in September. Like, dude, we are in November now.
Didn't we talk about this in the podcast?
Yeah.
It's just like, when's November? I'm like, dude, 3 days ago.
It's like, I just can't believe it's already November, guys.
Yeah.
It's going by fast. But we have another faction rally coming up. Do we have brand new guns? We have new Monarchy's gonna sell the sniper. Well, not sell. You're gonna be able to get from an engram. Wait, is this selling it or no? No. That's in season 2, right? That you're able to buy it.
It doesn't matter. Future War Cult's gonna win. So.
Oh gosh, if Dead Orbit wins. All right, so if your faction wins, New Monarchy is going to give out a sword, Future War Cult a fusion rifle, and Dead Orbit a grenade launcher. Gosh, if Dead Orbit wins.
Dear God, not gonna happen.
Gosh. And I'm curious to see now, because there's 3 platforms for this. We have PC, PS4, and Xbox One. So which faction are you guys going to root for? I'm going to root for Future War Cult, even though I don't want a fusion rifle, but I just love Future War Cult. Power. Which one are you gonna root for, man?
Future War Cult.
Nice.
Same thing.
Dan.
Yep.
Last time I made the mistake of saying, you know what? I can have it all. And I put each character on a different faction.
You're right.
And then Dead Orbit won. So this time, all four of my characters across 2 consoles are going Future War Cult, because you want to know why?
Why?
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of getting eyeliner just inside my helmet. It never comes out. I always have that that ugly cry look. I just don't like it anymore. So I'm gonna just go full Rainbow Death Squad and see where that takes me.
All right. So yeah, JRAM. Where
I am gonna
which
go
one?
New Monarchy because their shaders
Really?
are dope as hell.
Which one were you for the
that's
last
true.
faction rally?
The last one I was Future War Cult on my Titan, and then the other two characters I did both New Monarchy.
Mm-hmm.
So my allegiance, my heart lies with Future War Cult.
Mm-hmm.
But that sword and the shaders look amazing, so that's what I'm going for.
All right. How about you, Power? Which one were you last? Last
I
faction rally.
was Future War Cult.
Nice. And Dan, all three.
Well, yeah, I was all three.
But
Like
which
I
one were you
just
rooting
said,
for?
I made that damn mistake. Well, I was rooting for Future War Cult because I was like, I love them. They got that quirky little machine that tells them when the war's gonna come. I'll take that. But no.
Dan, have you ever watched Rick and Morty?
Yes.
You
Yes,
know,
I have.
Season 2, I think, is the first episode where they try to go through time or something like that. And it gets all mixed up.
Yeah.
We just 2 minutes ago we spoke to Jay back in September. Now we're getting Jay in November. That's why he re-asked the question.
I know, right?
I thought you were
wasn't
going
gonna say
somewhere with
anything.
this. Oh.
We got a completely different Jay right now.
Whatever.
We're gonna get
guys.
we're gonna get 1940s J next time.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Hey guys, come over here. Check out the war effort.
Quick thing, I know this is a Destiny podcast, but speaking of 1940s, have you guys tried out World War II yet? Anyone
No.
purchased it here?
Not yet. I'll wait till I
been
can
Call of
find a
Duty
used
forever.
copy.
No, but I've been listening to some podcasts that have conspiracy theories about aliens during World War II. But go ahead.
Power. How about you, man?
I'm doing great, man. And listen, to you
No,
guys
I meant. Oh gosh, I meant to say. How about you? Did you purchase World War II?
We got September Jay again. He hit the wrong button on his time transponder.
Man. What was your question? Go ahead. I'm good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you purchase World War II?
No, not at all.
No. All
No.
right. I
haven't played
made a
Call of Duty
mistake.
since like
Ooh.
the first one that came out
Wow.
in the 90s.
Funny
Wow.
story how I got World War II on PS4. I wanted to play the beta, so because it was out on PS4 first. So I just clicked on the first one I saw, and I didn't read the fine print, and I didn't know Sony takes your cash right away as soon as you press it. So I
Not a
bought,
funny story. It's a sad story.
but you laughed. So I made a mistake and bought the $100 version.
Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah, it was tough. It was
Man, I think my
tough.
wallet just jumped out of my pants. That's
It was tough. And
Now
now
turn on
Dan
my
turns
camera
calling
just for
us-
this joke.
Yeah,
World's tiniest violin, my friend.
yeah. It was tough. It was something.
All right. Next question.
Last thing, guys. Trials is back. It's back this week. It's back.
It's back, yeah.
It's back. It's back. It's on. It finally launched on PC. There we go. It's here. Did you guys plan on jumping in on PC? Power? You plan on trying it out on PC, or have you tried it out yet?
So, yeah, I stream every Friday and Monday for Trials only, and I was really excited for PC this week, but that stuttering issue is gonna really upset me. So
yeah.
I'm supposed to do it after, and I'm gonna give it a shot. But if it messes up my 1v1s or 1v2s, I'm pretty much done.
Yeah. The map is Javelin 4. I think that's the number after it. And the game mode is Survival, which Survival has some changes to it in this week's update. So
Yeah, they did.
I'm really curious to jump back in. JRAM, are you planning on playing Trials this week, man? On PC?
No.
Yeah, no.
I mean, listen. I will try everything, almost everything. Let me define that. Almost everything once. So, if the boys want to get together and try it, absolutely, I would love to get in there and try it out. But just like Power said, this stutter problem is real bad.
Yeah.
Because number one, it's not predictable, and number two, and just like anything, it always seems to hit at the worst time.
As of testing yesterday, and I've noticed this, the longer I was playing yesterday, the stutter actually closed down to a gap at around 20 to 30 seconds every time.
Oh God.
Yeah. So when I was doing the raid last night with everyone, like if I rewatched the stream and I constantly just kept complaining about it, and I wouldn't stop. And I sounded like a broken record, but it was just annoying me so bad that I wanted my experience to be smooth. And it just, I'm shooting something, that flicker of a millisecond, it's annoying, and it comes up at the worst times, and it just throws it off completely. I had somebody dive on a platform at Callus because it stopped for a second for him. Like, it stopped that millisecond, and he completely just forgot where to go.
Oh no!
So it's there, and it is a millisecond, but it is annoying and it's noticeable.
Yeah.
So,
and it wasn't there. This thing wasn't there Wednesday.
And so this past
it happened
patch,
after the hot fix.
It was supposed to fix something, right, on PC about GPUs or CPUs. Fix something. I know there wasn't.
No, it was supposed to. There was a degradation going on with the game. So the longer you played the game, your FPS, there was a memory leak. It would start pretty much lowering your FPS over time, and it was mainly in the EDZ. But yeah, your performance would drop over time, a long period of time playing the game. And what would fix that is closing out the game and restarting it.
Yeah.
But they fixed that, but then now introduced
a new problem.
Yeah.
I hope they fix that fast. Yeah. And the survival changes is they reduced the time limit to 2 minutes, and they reduced the life count from 8 to 6. And, Dan, are you gonna play Charles this weekend, man?
I'm playing after this podcast.
Nice.
Good luck, man.
I'm jumping in with some friends.
Good luck.
On PS4, and should be fun.
Nice. Good luck.
Shout out to Suited Thunder. He's listening.
Nice. All right. So guys, final question for the night. So as you guys can see so far, every expansion for D2 seems to revolve around a character that was from the lore in Destiny 1, right? Have you guys noticed that? First we have Osiris, maybe Anna Bray or someone else, a hunter in expansion 2.
Probably not Anna Bray.
Probably not Anna Bray, but there's just something that a lot of people are throwing out there. So which character from D1 lore would you like to see an expansion about? J-Rem, you first.
That's a really good question, Jay.
Hey, yes!
What character would I like to explore a little bit more?
Yeah. I can go first if you don't.
No, I got it.
Okay.
I nailed it. I just don't know all their names. I would like to meet the fire team that went into the Vault of Glass first. So Praedyth, Caber, who else was there? Shit.
I don't know. I just know Praedyth.
Whatever that fire team is, yeah. Praedyth,
Yeah.
I just remember because the Praedyth Revenge. That it was a decent sniper rifle too. I would like to meet those people and try to just ask questions like, what was it like going in for your first time? Because I remember the first time I went in, and that Vault of Glass raid was just fantastic. It was the first time I ever experienced something like that in a video game of that scale and scope. And I just remember, when the door opens up and the whole fire team got on their sparrows and went down as fast as possible. I didn't do that. I wanted to run in to see what it was like. And when you run in, you can hear you could kind of hear like the rain or the water coming off the rocks.
Yeah.
And then you just heard that real deep bass, like boom, boom, and it's like, holy shit, dude, this is badass, man. And it really made me feel like for once I was exploring something that very few people have actually looked at. Because it had that eerie feeling to it and all that. So I would like an expansion on who did they represent as people, and how did they fit into the world of the Guardians, and maybe I don't know, do a raid with them. I think that'd be badass. And try to save their lives.
All right, Dan.
I personally would like to see a story about the stranger. I doubt we're going to, but I think that there's more stories you can tell other than just the one.
Yeah.
With her.
According to Luke Smith, her story's wrapped up. She gave you a cool piece of gun and left.
That's fine and all, but I think that there's more there. There's more to that story.
There's definitely more there. Power. I think your mic is muted, man.
Oh, you're muted.
You pulled the J-Ram. Oh, nope.
No, I'm not
No.
muted.
There you are.
No, same thing. I was actually going to say the stranger as well. Same thing. And the funny thing is that weapon that she gives you is actually really good. It was a really good weapon,
Yeah.
and a
So
lot
good.
of people used it in Crucible. A ton of people used it in Crucible, and a lot of people I know actually wanted it back, so they deleted their character and redid the whole thing again just to get that weapon back again.
Oh, yeah, I know
So-
people like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, same thing. I would definitely want to. I'm interested. How she was or what she is and stuff like that, or her story pretty much in total.
Where did she go?
So yeah,
Where
definitely.
did she come from?
Where did she go? Yeah, where did she go? And where is she now?
Yeah,
where is she now?
a lot has
through all this
happened.
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, is she coming back to give us another weapon?
Like,
Who knows?
So I hear she's fighting zombies on another franchise. So.
Oh my god.
Building bases.
One character that I would like to see actually return is the Queen. Where did she go? We know she's still alive.
Right. Yeah,
They said she is going to return, but where is she? She didn't show up anywhere in the campaign. So I'm really curious to see where she is. Where did she go? And what's going on with her? Even Eris Morn, I'm really curious to see more about her. Yeah. All right, guys. So, well,
Real quick.
Oh, yep.
Real quick.
Go.
Before we end that, you're talking about the Queen.
Mhm.
I just want to say one more thing. So there was what was it, the sniper rifle? The sniper rifle you'd get from her was the her benevolence, was it?
Yeah.
Her benevolence, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first one, right?
That
Which one was it? There's two of them. There's two
Yeah,
sniper rifles you get from
And
her.
the Queen
Oh.
Breaker's bow.
No, he's talking about the
No,
one
no.
from the Queen's Wrath event, right? Is that the one?
There was two of them.
No. Oh.
Hang on, I'm trying to look at. I have my my Xbox item manager up real quick. It was the most rarest sniper, and almost nobody had it. And
Wasn't
and
it from
that's
the
what I was
Queen's
gonna
Wrath
say.
event?
Dang, I can't go back to Destiny 1 item manager. I forgot the name of the sniper rifle.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
that's
you
what
can-
I wanted to
you
go
can.
back to that.
You should be able to.
It's not letting me for some reason. It's just saying Destiny 2. It's not letting me.
All right.
But anyways, that going back to that, you said talking about the Queen real quick before we ended here is that sniper rifle. Every time I would take it out, people would go, "What the heck? Where'd you get that
Is
from?"
it called the Supremacy?
Yes, the Supremacy.
Yeah.
Look at
Yes.
GJ.
Yeah, that's what it was. A lot of people because if you didn't do the
Queen's
quest
Wrath,
when she
yeah.
came out the first time,
Mhm.
you couldn't get it anymore, and that was it. That was the only time you could have gotten it.
Yeah.
And I want stuff like that. Just saying, Bungie, just stuff like that.
Yeah. I hope she comes back and have an event or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Power, for joining us this week. Thank you guys for listening to the 52nd episode of the DTR podcast. So, Power, where can we find you on social media?
Literally just Twitter, YouTube, Twitch as well. Right now I've been mainly streaming, so just Power GPU is all over on all three platforms.
All right, JRAM.
You can find me everywhere at J_Rambo9119 or at Rathos everywhere also.
Yeah, even that one site.
Even that one site, which we do not speak of. But I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with YouTube.
It
YouTube.
it rhymes with horn dub.
Power, we'll explain that joke later.
All right,
No, I think he gets it. I think he knows.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's a bright young man. He knows exactly what's going on.
Dan, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/DanFinity. You can find me on Twitter at DanFinitwitch. See what I did there?
All right, you guys can find me on Twitter at J_DTR and Destiny Tracker on Twitch at Destiny Tracker and on YouTube at Destiny Tracker. All right, guys, thank you guys for listening to the 52nd episode of the DTR podcast. Power, thank you again so much for joining us this week. We had a great show. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, guys, and we will see you all next week.
Later.
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 Bye.